Hey there, guys. Dr. Dual Sport. I've been in haying mode here. Anyway, I'm down at the farm. I thought I'd just show you a quick vid of what I've been, or some of the problems that I go through. I know if some of you may have more than one motorcycle, or you may have several, and I know that you'll find out the more you have, then the more maintenance there is. You have to maintain each one of them, because if you don't do it, nobody will. And it's the same way with equipment. So I've got several pieces of equipment, and I've got several motorcycles. So let me just show you some of the current problems I have. Okay, here's the old 4455 John Deere. It's been a good old gal. I bought the thing brand new, I think 1985. It's got the 15-speed power shift. It's still, running good. I got the seats about wore out, need to get it upholstered. This is a rake I bought last year. It's a new rake, so it's in good shape. The only thing we have, main thing we have wrong with this one is that it's John Deere's or kind of like Harley Davidson's. They all leak a little bit of oil. See, I've got some leak out of these old Rams here, and what happens is the canister of the Ram there, over years of use, they actually get egg shaped to where they won't hold a seal. The only way you could fix that would be to buy a new Ram, and it might be, I don't know what they cost, $1,000 maybe, I don't know. Okay, here's the baler. This is what is it? I think this baler's a 2012 model. I just bought it used last year. It's a good baler. It'll eat up some hay, works good. I come out at 6 this morning, started working on it, servicing it. I hadn't had time. I had to replace a sensor, electronic sensor, underneath the accumulator. This accumulator, the bales, they come out of the baler here, and then it shifts them from side to side, and then when you get the end of field or in a row, you can dump them. Anyway, it was kind of a little pain in the ass laying there, but everything else worked good. I got everything greased, all the fluids are up, air pressure, full twine. I baled over here, baled about a little piece of grass, about 20 bales or whatever, didn't miss a bale, so that works good. This is the other old tractor. This is a 4555, 160 horse. It's been a good old tractor. Got the 15-speed power shift. It's got the mechanical Bosch fuel injection. It's got good power. But the only major glitch I got on this one is I've got a bad circuit on the printed circuit inside under the dash there, and it's on the circuit that sends the signal back to the alternator to kick in. So I have to jumper this to get it to charge the batteries. And everybody knows that of course your baler is run by computer, so you got to have good voltage. So that's giving me fits. I've got to see if I can get that fixed. I've got the ACs all charged up good on it, so that's working. Okay, here's the old 930 cat loader. She's in good shape. I just got some new tires on her last year. If you ever buy anything cat, it's good. They're built to last. You can always get parts. And then with your loaders, if you'll steer away from the farm loaders and go to the industrial type, they have a lot more lift. Anyway, that's in good shape. I've still got to grease it. I know I got a plugged grease fitting there I got to work on. Okay, here is the SkyTrack. Bought this 2 years ago. That's the best piece of equipment I've ever bought. We're able to stack our hay like 5 high with that. It's ready to go, except I've got to get an oil change on it. It's got the little 4-cylinder Cummins. Sweet little motor. Okay, let's go over here to the backhoe. The backhoe, I got it all greased. It's about ready to go. I'll have to dump the quick attach bucket off, put on the tines, to lift hay, no problem there. Okay, here's the swather. This is a rotary swather. I'm just going to go over here. I just greased it, and as you can see, these little things here that rotate. They're called turtles, and they have a little blade on them, just like on your lawnmower. And they turn at, we usually set them around 2,400 RPM. And anyway, you can cut. We cut like I run about 10 miles an hour. A lot of the neighbors will go. They're going 14. They might have little newer machines or whatever, but so anyway, I think it's time for me to have an adult beverage. This is the adult beverage of my choice and has been for quite a few years. This is the Diet Coke. I've got one field right over there left to cut, 15 acres. It's only going to take an hour or so. We'll get that opened up and then have Chris do it. I'm going to take off, and I've got a little errand I've got to run. You know, when you think you're so busy, you got all this stuff going, all the hay's down, it's got to be raked, it's got to be baled, it's got to be hauled. You know, but you need to take time to do some other things, and so that's what I'm going to do, and I'll tell you about that later. Hey there, folks. Dr. Dual Sport here. Hey, we're on a dangerous secret mission today, and we're actually we've picked us up a new motorcycle here. I have a special person here who's going to tell you a little about this bike.
Hey. Welcome, everybody.
You guys know who this is.
We got a little inside deal going on here with this little bike here. It's actually a 2002 CR80 Expert, and I got this bike with another bike, planning to keep this one for my son, but it's a little bit much for him. He's not quite old enough or big enough to handle it yet, so we're gonna wait for a little longer. And while it was here, we noticed a few little things wrong with it, so we decided to go over the bike and find anything that needed to be fixing, and one thing kind of led to another. So I'll just kind of give a little brief update on what this bike is like now. We found a little leak in the intake boot, or what I thought was a leak in the intake boot here. And so I thought, well, the bike had been sitting for a long time, and the kids that sold it, they couldn't get it started. So I knew, you know, being a two-stroke, you need to keep the carburetors clean. So I took it out, and it was all gummed up, and I cleaned the carburetor really good and put it back in. It started well, but I saw some cracks in there. So I went ahead and replaced this intake boot, and then I checked the compression, and the compression was a little low. So I thought, well, it's not that big of a deal to go ahead and just put a new top end in it. So I took the cylinder off and took the head off, and I found that the head was just a little warped, and the piston had a little crack in it. And I'm like, oh my gosh. So I thought, well, maybe it got hot. So I looked inside the cylinder, and sure enough, found a little crack in the cylinder. So what we did is we went ahead and had that sleeved and put a big bore sleeve in it, and a big bore 52 millimeter piston. So this is actually a 105 cc bike now instead of an 80 cc. And at the same time, we remachined the cylinder and the head, so they're nice and flat, and it's got excellent compression now. So we put a new chain on it. It was kind of rusted, so we just put another chain on it. And new air filter, because it was kind of gummy. You know how they get after they sit for a while, they kind of turn into mush. So we put a new air filter in it, and I went and rode it around a little bit, and I noticed a little bit of leaking antifreeze on this side of the engine. And I thought, oh my gosh, it's probably a water pump. And sure enough, the water pump was bad. So I think what happened is it probably leaked its water out on the previous owner, and probably got hot, cracked the piston, cracked the cylinder. So I went ahead and pulled all this cover off and replaced the entire water pump assembly, and of course it doesn't leak now. So that was pretty good. So I went out and rode it around a little bit, and then I noticed it had some oil on the shock shaft. So I thought, well, I can't sell it like that. So I took the back end apart and took the shock off, and rebuilt the rear shock and put new seals and new bushings in it, and reset it up. And so it's pretty good now. And the bike, actually, you'd be surprised, these little 80s, you know, that you think they're a little cylinder and stuff, but man, they absolutely rip. This one pulled a wheelie with me. I know it was at least second gear. It might even been third gear that it lofted a wheelie in the dirt. So it's got plenty of power, and it's got a factory effects non-slip seat cover and new front and rear fender I put on it just to make it kind of look good. And other than that, I think it's going to be a solid little bike for grandson to tool around on and have some fun.
Well, I got my one grandson, Braden. I call him the wild child, and I think he'll fit right on this bike, and he'll really be able to make her sing.
Yeah.
So is there anything we should do in braking on this?
I've heated it up and ran it about 30 minutes, so I think it's ready just to run it.
Just run it.
Run it hard, yeah.
Run it and watch it. That's what we're going to do.
Yeah, fuel mixture 32 to 1.
32, huh?
32 to 1 on, I like Maxima Castrol. I forget the number, 231 I think. But the Maxima Castrol oil I really like, and it should just be ready to go.
Well, thanks to you, Mr. Duff Actor, and we'll try to put some miles on this bike.
Well, I hope you get some video of it.
I think we will. Thanks again.
You betcha.
Well, folks, there's a whole lot of things that I've never done, but I ain't ever had too much fun. Dr. Dual Sport out.